Hey, it's the Chief bonding with board games and RPGs. So in a second, I'll catch you up where we're at with episode 12. But before we do that, do me a favor. Just remember, give it a thumbs up, hopefully. Subscribe if you haven't. What we will be doing today is picking up from the attempted setup of an ambush. The part that should have gone easy was the insertion. It did not. See episodes 10 and 11 to see what goes wrong there, but needless to say, gunfire noises were made, and they've drawn in a patrolling technical, 4 people on it, heavy machine gun, headlights are on, all of our team has night vision goggles, and they're in their positions. Look at the maps, or map, now. The whole plan of this, again, recapping, is it's a nighttime insertion for a morning-ish shift ambush using law rockets. So a technical has arrived, presumably, of course it was a random event, but due to the sound of the M240, which isn't silenced. The technical's sitting on the street, lights are on, headlights are on. These guys don't have night vision goggles. The front passenger, assuming the team leader of this group, is out of the vehicle, and he is assessing a visual scene of shell casings all over the place. Now, there should be some blood trails here. I think we'll end up rolling for that. But to set the stage, the map's up now. You've got the 240 and the 249 on one end of the street, and then the main part of the ambush with Krieg and Sanchez and Pacheco and Jan and his marauder. And they have the informant that kind of set this up on the other side, not to mention their 240 and 249 team. So this is a good ambush, but this isn't who we want to ambush. We've got an elevated position on both sides. Quick work could be made. So let's open this up with first, I want to know, does this marauder leader also see the blood trail? So Krieg had the bodies of the 2 individuals that were on site when insertion occurred, drug into the building, the concrete building. But we can imagine there's at least some blood there. But let's see if there is a blood trail and if it's seen by this marauder leader, because that can kind of end up drawing this action. I'm using the Mythic Fate chart here. I'm going to go with this is very likely. The headlights are on. Shell casings are easy to spot in this kind of situation because the lights will kind of make them almost twinkle. Blood, maybe not so much, but he's out of the vehicle checking the scene. So it's likely with 2 people that were taken out that he's going to see some blood. I think we had our chaos factor. I can't remember exactly. I want to say it was 6. We're going to leave it at 6. We could probably up it to 7 with how things are going bad. Matter of fact, let's do that. Let's move our chaos factor to 7. This is not going well at all. So, which means there's more opportunity for this to be a yes. But it's, I believe, very likely, chaos factor 7, that a blood trail is going to be seen. All we need is a 95 or lower for that to be true. 43, so yes. Matter of fact, okay, no, a definitive yes would have been 19. The blood trail is seen. So he's got one guy manning the machine gun on the back of the technical. Russian 14.5 millimeter machine gun. He's going to stay on that. I think the driver would stay in the vehicle as well, ready to go in case they got to get out of there. The leader of this technical is going to call out the other rear passenger to join him as they kind of follow the blood trail. Does the blood trail lead to the concrete building? I mean, you might have a literal trail that leads right to it. I think that's, again, very likely So do they just see blood, or do they have that trail leading right to the building? Again, 95 or better. And we have 17. So this is a strong yes, which of course it should be. So they've got literally 2 solid blood trails right into this concrete building. In that building is the 240B operator and the 249. The opposite side, kind of in that overhanging building, is the main force that's got the laws and everything else. That nationalistic, let's call them nationalistic or renegades, I don't know. The nationalistic leader says, hey, 2 clear blood trails. I've got 2 into this building. Now, I'm curious. They don't have night vision goggles, so entering into a building at night with blood trails would be very, very dangerous. So the question would be, would they leave or enter? Would they leave or enter? God, I think the idea would be, let's exit and let's get out of here, and the idea would be report. So I think it's unlikely that they would enter. So I think very unlikely they would enter, which under chaos of 7 means 50 or lower is a yes. 61. So yeah, that makes total sense to me. They're not looking to go into this building and follow the blood trail. Now I will say it's a chaotic world. The idea that there were shots fired, although 7.62 automatic fire is a little bit unique. The idea that there's been bodies drug into a building. Murders happen in Easno, especially now, but these guys aren't going in. So they're preparing to leave, and I'm thinking, is Krieg letting them roll and just exiting? I don't think Krieg lets them go. He may blow the ambush, but he grabs the radio. Volumes are down. The engine's idling outside. You got a guy on the machine gun, a guy in the seat, or in the driver's seat, and Krieg is not willing to let these guys drive off. He knows it's clear that they've seen the blood trails, and if this ambush is going to go off, this vehicle just needs to disappear. This vehicle and crew needs to disappear without alerting the problem location. So he comes up real quiet on his radio and says, as soon as all 4 are back in the vehicle, light it up. Light it up. Yes. All right. Now we got waylaying. Okay, so the original plan was to spend an entire shift for Bartek's, like motorcade, which would have got us +3. The good thing is, if we spend a stretch 5 to 10 minutes, which we have, in our current position, we get a +2. So we're going to do the recon, and we're going to do the recon of our lowest individual that we have, because maybe they stick a barrel out or something. And then we will do an opposed recon roll with this leader, and it definitely doesn't help that they're basically they're lighting up an area, but they don't have really the knowledge of what's going on. So let's see. Although they're alert, they've got a blood trail. They're not thinking they're about ready to get hit by 2 light machine guns. Intelligence roll, the lowest we have here is a D with a recon C. So, and then we're going to get a +2. All right, so we got a D10 and a D8 on the recon, and let me see what they get, and then I'll figure out what this leader is going to get. That's with the technical. So we got an 8 and a 1. No need to push it, but I'm curious. I think this technical guy, he's in the dark. So is he going to spot? I mean, he's lit the area up. I'm going to give him 2 D6s. I think that's fair because if he can roll two 6s, which would be pretty darn tough, I think he's going to spot something that the ambush is about ready to go down. We'll see what happens. A 5 and a 2. So this ambush is gonna kick off. You have the one nationalist gets in the back of the vehicle. You have the guy on the machine gun who's just kind of sitting around, maybe covering the door where the blood trail led to. The driver's ready to go. He's just idling. And as the leader climbs inside of his vehicle, you get immediately the 240s, both of them from plunging different angles, and the 249s opening up. At the same time, from the area of Krieg, you're going to have all the M16s, which Jan has, the Marauder has, Pacheco has, and Sanchez is operating just one-handed, but they're so close. He's going to have, I think it's a -3 when he's operating, but he's within this regular range, and he's just kind of dumping rounds down on him. Not a problem. This is fairly overwhelming. But I still need to make sure nobody jams. I'm going to be tracking ammo. So we are going to work through this progression. I have very little doubt that no one in this vehicle's going to survive. For the machine guns, we will be using their heavy weapon skill, which both of them have. They were picked for this. They're both A's. And then it is their strength, which one has a... Oh, they both have B's, so I just kept it simple. So, we are going to work in the D12, and at a B, with their pluses, with their advantages going in, it's going to be 2 D12s. The rate of fire is a 4. Interesting. So, we're going to have that there. Interesting. I was thinking it would have been a little bit more. I've forgotten. Criticals. So a hit is a damage of 3. And then if we can get to a critical 4, we're not going to roll on the critical chart. They will just be killed. But I'm going to track one by one, starting with the 240s. So we'll start with Arthur. Arthur's going to fire. We've got the modifiers in. There's no problem with range. We've got full D12s, and then we will roll these ammo dice as well. So we've got 3 hits, and let's see what else we got going on with the ammo. We've actually got another hit that we can apply to someone else. There is a 1, so if I were to push it, there's a possibility of a jam or wear and tear. Other than that, we've got 6, 2, 4, 1. Obviously, we're not pushing it. We've got 3 hits, which does bring up the interesting part. So we can even share off another solid hit on another person in the vehicle. With this ammo die, we're going to do that. But the first thing we'll track is 3 hits. So that's 3 different hits, meaning the first one does the 3 damage. The second one takes it up to a critical, and then I believe the one on top of that is a +1 on that. But we're saying any critical hits, the person is dead. Now, what I didn't determine, and actually with an MG, it's not like you're aiming at a single individual. It's fired kind of at that vehicle. Now, I am going to do, there is a hit on another person in that vehicle as well. So right off the bat, the first 240 is doing a lot of damage. Whew. All right, we're going to do the 8-sided die just to determine who is the main one hit on this. So 1 to 2, driver, 3 to 4, the leader, 5 to 6, rear seat, and then, well, we'll make that the gunner, and then 7 to 8 is the other fellow that got in from the back. 3, all right, well, there we go. So the leader is DRT. We call that dead right there. And for this other person that caught a single hit, we'll see if that gets worse. That is a 5 out of 6. So the gunner is also taking a hit. So if he gets hit one more time, we'll just do him as critical and he'll be out. Now we got to do the ammo. So let's find Arthur on the 240 is here, and he has fired what? We have 12, 13 rounds that he just ripped off into there. No wear and tear on the gun at all. We're going to do, so that's one side coming down. Now we've got the other 240 with plunging fire. We're going to do the exact same thing. We'll roll. He's just got a single hit so far, a 6 and a 2. We may push this depending on what this does. Ooh, overly done. Roll there. Oh, we got a 1 here. So the idea of pushing that is probably interesting. You know what? We could push. We're not going to push because there's so many guns that are going to be firing here. Why overkill and jam a weapon? So strategically, we've got a hit. We will record the next 240 is going to do, so we'll resolve the hit in a second randomly on who gets hit because maybe they're doubling down on somebody. But we've got 10, 11 rounds. Maybe you should have fired a little more. Hello. Oh, let's do our hits. So again, we need that 8-sided die, and we will see who this strikes using the same method. A 1, excellent. Okay, the driver has also been received 1 hit. So the driver's been hit once, the gunner's been hit once, the leader's actually DRT, and we're just into those individuals. Let me check my 249 gunners. So again, heavy weapon skill. In this case, we have a strength B, and we have heavy weapon skill B with Clifton. Elevated firing position is a +1. And we actually have a large target, which this vehicle is, and it's not moving, is a +2. We don't have any of the darkness issues. We have on night vision goggles, and quite honestly, they could even flip them up based on where they're at and they're lit. But the goggles are good. They'll adjust on and off depending on light needs. So with the +3 on this, we've got this maxed out again. So we've got elevation and large target just firing into this vehicle, which is this opened truck. One guy was in the back. The gunner, let's see if he hits. Oh my, how the heck did that happen? Hold on. 3 and 4. Oh, and I gotta forget, I think our rate of fire's up 2 more, yes. So, forgot. Higher rate of fire with this gun. Ooh. So we have actually no hits at all. And 1 miss, or 1-1. Is he going to push it? Yeah, we're going to push this. We can't re-roll the 1, so if I get any other damages, which is actually quite likely, he's going to jam. Huh? We get 1 on the hit die. So we're going to still factor in all this ammo that went out. He did get 1 hit from the ammo die, which is just a suppression roll. Trust me, they're suppressed. I don't even need to be concerned about that. But we have no hits. Let me figure out all this ammo that was spent with this first 249 gunner, Clifton. So we've got 20 rounds by this first 249 gunner. Interesting. 20 rounds ripped off, and then he has a jam. So 249, and no hits at all. So again, he's sitting in that elevated position, and they're using the windowsills. They come up and and I'm picturing something maybe with either his belt or just we get a full weapon jam, and he's going to have to come back and work on clearing that. So let me write jam right next to his ammo here, just in case I forget. Again, the suppression occurred, but not concerned. There was going to be suppression anyway. Let's look at Anderson. So it's good we're going through the rolls here. Anderson is a strength C, heavy weapons B. So they're only going to get, oh wait, we had the 3 because +2 the vehicle. We had the +1 for the elevation. So we actually do have going up from C, B, A, and then the B coming up. So we'll be rolling 2 12s. Geez, this shouldn't miss. All right, but we just found out they can. So this is Anderson, also with an M249, and it turns out we may need some of these M16s and Krieg's grease gun, because that's all he brought as primary weapon. Well, we have a hit with an 8. We have a second hit, which is actually key with the ammo dice, because the first hit does 3 damage. Let me make sure with the 249. Only 2 damage, but you only need the 3 for critical, which we've already determined critical is the kill, but who knows, maybe he's even aiming at the leader, who would maybe catch a little more attention. So we have a hit, we have a potential critical. Of course, he could hit someone else too, but we have no other jams here, anything else going on. We are going to stick with that roll. We'll determine who was hit in the vehicle by this in a second, and we are going to make it the critical hit. So let me do the ammo. So we have 23 rounds. Wow, these 249s really chew it up. Let me find my other 249. There we go. So 23 rounds expended. We've got to see who he takes out using that same 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 6. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the gunner. So this is his second hit, although this would have taken him out as well. That actually makes a lot of sense that the leader's been hit and the gunner has been hit. The driver has been wounded, but if this vehicle ends up taking off, we will be in quite the pickle. Let's see what Krieg does. I've got to find out what Krieg does. Krieg, not that very good. Not that very good of a shot. Not that good of a shot. So we're using his ranged skill, which he has none, ranged combat, and his agility, which is simply a D8. So the D8 will get the same pluses that we're using, which is the +1 for being elevated, the +2 for the vehicle being where it's at. So he will at least move up to a 12-sided die. Set this off to the side. All right, and we were using just 4 because he's got a heavy roll, or a heavy trigger finger. We're going to set 1 die aside because if you've seen the other episodes, I'm giving him a +1 on this one because he's really holding it down. Now, Grease Gun can handle a few more rounds, but he'll get a +1 on this, which basically just means Grease Gun's pretty reliable. He's not going to jam it. So we'll roll for that. Right after this, ooh, he actually gets a hit. Now, he has 3 1s. But that would only be a problem if I pushed. No need to push. He's hit. I actually wasn't sure he would hit. We'll see what this +1 does. A 3, which would move to a 4, which we will track for ammo purposes because he's always ripping through a ton of ammo. Actually, quite surprising into this, he only fired 7 rounds with his hit. That will not give him a critical. So his was damage 2, critical. He needed a 3. He doesn't have anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got a 4, and makes sense. he's actually gotten another hit on the leader of this group, who's already, all this is simultaneous. This guy really got peppered. Let me track his ammo. He only did 7, as we'll do Pacheco first, then we'll do Sanchez, which is the order that I've got. These guys are using their ranged skill. We have a B and an A. We already know from the pluses that we've got going on that that's going to end up being 2D12s. Both of them will be using the M16A2, rate of fire of just 3. Damage will do 2, and for critical they're going to need 1 more hit. So they're going to need one of these, either 2 hits or one of these ammo die to show a hit. And we'll just see here. Ooh, we got a 7, the 2, and we did get a 6 on one of the ammo die. So no need to push. We're going to have a critical here. Again, though, the problem we obviously may run into is this driver may be able to get out of here. We'll go with this ammo that we've got. So we've got 9. We've got 14 rounds out of Pacheco's M16. The way we're doing it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 4. That's the leader again. The leader got peppered. This vehicle is in great risk of just driving off. Now, Sanchez is actually firing the same weapon, and he has a ranged combat of B with the agility of an A. He would be all the way up, but he's only shooting with his left hand. He's basically got that M16 kind of sitting on a perch. So he's actually is operating with a -3. We have the +3 nullified out. So we've got a 12-sided die, and we've got a 10-sided die that's going to be coming in on this roll. And then the same amount of rate of fire, 3 dice coming in. And again, there was no coordination on who to shoot at. I've got a feeling even if there's a hit, it may be the leader again. Ooh. Oh, okay. We got 2 hits over here. We got an 11 and a 5. There were 2 1s and a 5. That would be a problem if we were going to push. You wouldn't push here because you'd end up jamming your weapon. No need to push, though. He actually rolled the 11, has the 1 hit with a critical on top of it. So the 5, 6, 7 rounds. The all-important one, we do not want, well, for story purposes, a 3 or 4 might be kind of fun. But 1, 2, 3, 4, they're out, or no, the drivers just hit. So let's just see. 3. This is perfect. The leader, again, is hit. This is the problem with not coordinating. Hey, you take so-and-so, you take so-and-so. Everybody has gone after the leader or the gunner. So far, the other guy in the back, it's his lucky day. And the driver, he's been hit, not his lucky day, but he's hit. All right, we're going to work through, we're basically down to Jan and the Marauder number 1. And what do we got? Jan just has the M16A1, which actually has the higher rate of fire, but everything else is the same. But he's going to be firing 6. Where are we at on their skill level? So we have range combat C, agility C. Interesting, we're only going up 3. So we've got to take them up evenly. So they would both go to a B, and then we'd have 1 as an A and 1 as a B, which means a 12 and a 10. Where did that die go? A 12 and a 10. And then we've got the 6 going here. Okay. And again, we don't know. Hopefully this driver gets hit, or we're going to have to see how bad this driver's hit, see if he can drive away. Ooh, 2 10s. Tons of hits here. And 1 1. Otherwise, we've got 5 2 3 3 4 1. But we've got 4 hits. Half a mag he puts down in. Now, the all-important question. This is 4 hits. He only needed 3 to get the critical. And where's my 8-sided die? There we go. I'm hoping it's the driver or the guy in the back. 7, 8, 6. The gunner who's already down takes even more hits. More hits. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So we're down to one guy, and then we got to decide if this driver is going to be able to get the vehicle out of here or not. And we could have a runner or the passenger shooting back to the elevated position, because this has gotten quite interesting. All right, we're moving to, we just got him as Marauder 1 here. And let's see what happens. Ooh, we've got no hits with a single one. So I've got a 5 and a 3. We are going to push this because now we're in desperate straits. We can't re-roll this 1. That'll stay the same. All these other ones are just 5, 4, 3, 3, 4. We're rolling everything with a 1. So if we get a very likely, he's going to jam his gun up as well. We'll see what happens. Oh yeah, he's going to get a jam. Oh, but we got tons of hits. Very nice. And we've got 1 hit with the ammo die, but he has jammed. I've got 2 1s. I thought I had 3 there. 4, 4, 2, 3, 6, and then 2 10s. What I am going to do is put that ammo die. The hit can be applied to someone else as long as they're in the same area and not in better cover. These guys aren't. So this will be on someone else, but I've got 4 hits on whatever this is, and they will be DRT, and we'll see who it is. So again, same thing applies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gunner, and 7, 8 is that rear passenger. Let's see who he shot at. The leader is gone, but someone else, and I'll re-roll if it's a 3, 4. We got to see who else takes a hit. The 6, okay, which is the 5, 6 is the gunner who's also out. The gunner took a hit. So let me do our ammo real quick. All right. And we have the much more interesting situation of how badly wounded is this driver. I think he's wounded seriously, but I think it's very likely that, again, very likely with a chaos of 7 means that he's going to drive off. He's going to drive away. So 95 or less is a yes that he's going to drive away. 70 even. So what we know is the driver's hit, the commander in the front passenger seat devastated, the gunner devastated, who's on the heavy 14.5 millimeter machine gun, devastated, but the passenger in the back of the bed not hit at all. But this vehicle is going to take off. Now, I'm going to see if, well, I want a yes or no question. We never even got, well, there were plenty of, I think the back seat guy with all this fire coming in and it's right next to him, suppressed. The idea that in all of this, he's going to be able to get his AK up and put rounds on target. I think this is an overwhelming amount of fire. For Cuff, coolness under fire, he's just laid down in this truck and is just praying. So he's not firing back. No need to roll on that. Overwhelming amount of fire. Heck, that might have been what saved him as he hits the bed of the truck. The big question is, I think I want to roll how far the driver's hit. Is he able to get out of the area, or how far is he able to go? Well, let's go to the cards on this one, because that brings in 14. I want to see how bad off is this driver? He was hit once, and how bad was that hit? So what we're going to do is just, it doesn't matter the color, we're going to look at ace being severe, like he rolls a hex. We'll even correspond that to, well, let's just say severe is he rolls a hex and is passed out. Or a 2 is, he's back at base. He gets all the way back. He floors it and gets out of there. Yeah, that's it. So let's see where this goes. I don't know what this is. What is it? Oh, that's good for them. Okay, it's one step down from the ace. I'm going to say that he makes it. He floors it. He travels 1 hex, and then. And he is traveling, if you're looking at your map, he's traveling from left to right. So as he goes, where the ambush took place is right, kind of right underneath where they had all the plunging fire. He goes 2 hexes, and then the vehicle just rams into the side of the building hard. The pedals floored, hits the building, and I want to see, is the back bed of the guy in the back, is he ejected by this? Again, we're on Chaos 7. I think it's, well, let's just go 50-50. That's an 85. Or 75. 50-50, is he ejected? He is laying prone. 70 even. He is ejected. So the one guy that wasn't shot or even wounded is ejected from this crash. How seriously would he be wounded having driven that far? Let's go with the cards again on that one. I think that's better than putting it. We'll do the same graduated. He's wounded very little as a 2. He's basically broken bones, a mess if he gets an ace. So let's see how that goes. And what is it? A 6. Okay. 14, of course, would be an ace. So we're at middle of the road. He's injured, but conscious, but has, I would think that would be at least a broken bone. So we're going to have a broken bone ejected. The driver's passed out, wounded, and the other 2 are just gone. All right, we're going to pause this episode right there. What will be the resolution of this? So real quick, everybody here gets the +1 for combat. Furthering the goal, I actually think, no, this is bad. We're not getting anywhere close to the ambush. I know the goal should be King of Knees and stuff, but this has been kind of a cluster how this went down. But they're going to get the 1 for the experience. However, I'm going to work up sheets for Sanchez and Pacheco. I'm finding it interesting, and it's catching my imagination when I'm away from the game, that Krieg is evil when he set himself up, King of Kneesno and the owner of Pim Jim, a contractor company, before the whole thing goes south with the war. But under that has come Pacheco, who seems like a very competent farmer, whatever he was, special forces, SEALs, who knows. We'll figure some of that out. And Sanchez, who's a little disagreeable, but doesn't always, he'll give crap to Krieg, sometimes to his own danger, whether he knows it or not. I'm going to work up sheets, full sheets for them in the future. I don't know when it'll get done, but I'll work up some full sheets on them with some background, because I think they're going to juxtaposition the evilness of Krieg a little bit, and it could even become conflict that would come to a head between them and Krieg. So we'll do that in the future. Let me pause. We'll stop this episode. We'll come back with the next episode of reconciling what they do with this crash, all this loud gunfire. Do you push the ambush forward now? I don't know. Let's see what Krieg wants to do. Hello.